Hey, Bunky Brewster here. No, I promised you guys 10 minutes for the live video, but we had a few technical difficulties. Apologies up front for that. And today, we're going to talk a little bit about goals, a little bit more in depth than what we did on day one. 30-day challenge, and I've already missed yesterday. Apologies immensely. But today I want to talk to you guys about personal goal setting for yourselves and basically how to set a goal. A lot of people feel like their lives are just completely off track, and even though they try to accomplish things and they have the best of intentions, things go awry, and that can happen. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about is how to effectively plan goals and be able to get some momentum going in your life. And one of the reasons that people feel like, they're off kilter and lives just aren't going like the way that they feel they should be is because, they haven't learned how to set those goals effectively. So two main reasons to set goals. One is for motivation. Of course, you've got top level athletes, business people, entrepreneurs, high achievers in all fields of life. And they all set goals because, it focuses your acquisition, it focuses your knowledge on where you want to go, what you want to be, helps you to organize your time and organize your life and use the resources that you already have in your life so that you can make the very most of it and make your life work on your time. Second reason to, set goals is it gives you self-confidence. So when you have a goal that you've set, you're feeling pretty sharp about that. You've defined it, you can measure it, you can take pride, in the fact that you've accomplished that goal and you feel a sense of achievement. So that's reason number two. So motivation and self-confidence. There's a couple of different ways that you can set goals. I like to start with personal goals. You can create a big picture, of what you want in your life, say to be in 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And you're thinking, well, how am I going to get somewhere in, 10, 15 years? Hey, Leslie, appreciate it. Back at you, boss lady. So, the first thing is set some long-term goals. And you say, well, how am I going to get to those long-term goals? Well, we're going to further this conversation, and break this down for you. But you're going to break them into smaller targets. It's kind of like somebody told me one time, well, how do you eat an elephant? You eat it in small bites at a time. So you make smaller goals. You start on a plan, you write it down, and you achieve it. So when you're setting those lifetime goals, think about certain areas of your life. Think about your career. Where do you want your career to be, say, 5-10 years from now? Look at your financial goals. How much money do you want to earn? By what stage do you want to earn, that pay grade, that pay scale, okay? Look at your education. Do you want to increase your education? Is there a knowledge that you can go out there and grab, without maybe paying, for a college education? So educate yourself. Look at family goals. Do you want to be a parent in 5 or 10 years? Do you want to have your kids on track to be able to go to college in 10 years? So there are different, family goals that you can do. Maybe you want to move back home to be able to take care of extended family. Do you have artistic goals? Maybe, you've always dreamed of being a painter. Maybe you have a hobby in being a DJ. There are all kinds of different things. So there could be artistic goals. You could have attitude. Maybe, you could just work on your attitude and being more positive. And you want to change your mindset, in your mind frame. So you can look at that as a goal. You could have physical goals. Maybe you're not happy, with your physical appearance. Maybe you want to drop a few pounds. Maybe you want to get a boob job, just saying. But there are lots of different types of goals, okay? So just kind of sit down, brainstorm. Those are just a few ideas. Consider trimming some of those, if you will, if you have to, if it seems overwhelming. Start with a small number. Start with 1 or 2 instead of, 5 or 10 at one time. Make sure that your goals are one that you genuinely want to do. Make sure it's not goals, that parents, family, or friends want for you. You know, if you're married, you have a partner, spouse, you know, make sure that you're taking he or she into consideration, but make sure that you're remaining true to yourself, okay? That's an important one right now. Come up with a mission statement for your goals. Bring them to a sharp focus. Now talking about the smaller goals, create a daily to-do list that, you know, have smaller goals to achieve those 5-10 year goals. At an early stage, it may be reading a book, it may be gathering materials, you know, it may be the fact that you want to start a business and you've got to do small steps and small things to get to that. So, you know, as the process goes along, make sure that you sit down and review those daily and weekly. Write them down. If you're not writing them down, you can't hold yourself accountable. So stay the course, have a daily to-do list and a weekly to-do list, and kind of review those periodically. Modify them if you need to, you know, depending on experience, depending on how quickly you're moving. So we're going to talk about being smart with your goals, and a SMART goal is just a mnemonic that, you know, that I like to use. So S being specific and significant. M stands for, you know, measurable and meaningful. Again, make sure they're meaningful to you. A is for attainable. Make sure that they're attainable or action oriented, because if you're not taking action, you know, those goals aren't going to change. R is for relevant or rewarding. Okay. Reward yourself. Make sure that they're relevant to what you want to achieve 10-15 years. And time bound and trackable. Make sure that you can track those. Okay. So that's SMART. Again, specific, significant, measurable, meaningful, attainable and action oriented, relevant, rewarding, and time bound and trackable. So SMART. And if you have questions, leave me a comment below. I can send you a message and kind of break that down for you. So a few more small tips for you about your goals. State those as a positive statement. Express them positively to yourself. You know, create a board, an action board, if you will, a vision board that you can use. Be precise. You know, set precise goals. Let's say you want to sail around the world. Don't just say I want to sail around the world. Say I want to sail around the world by December 2018. You know, may not be attainable for some people, but again, just kind of giving you an example. So be precise by setting dates, setting, you know, a timeline for those. The next thing is set priorities. When you have several goals, you want to prioritize those and which one is the most important to you. Write them down. Again, write those down. When you write them down, it holds you accountable. Keep operational goals as well. You know, low-level goals that you can work toward, smaller ones that are achievable that get you to that bigger one. Set performance goals, not outcome goals. Things that, you know, you can take care of over a certain amount of time, which you absolutely have control about. Okay, quit, you know, being desperate and struggling. They shouldn't be anything that, you know, you struggle with or really get overwhelmed with. Make them realistic. It's important to set goals that you can achieve that are absolutely realistic. Make sure that you reward yourself when achieving certain goals. If it was easy to achieve, then you might need to make that goal harder. If the goal took a very, very long, dispiriting length time to achieve, then make the next one a little bit easier. If you learn something, you know, that would change the other goals, then absolutely do so. If you notice a deficient in your skill, even though you achieved the goal, that's a lesson learned. So maybe you want to fix that the next time you set, you know, a different goal. So hopefully today you learned a few things about setting goals that will make them a little bit easier for you. Just remember that if you don't attain one, it's not really a big deal. It just means that you learned from the experience. Lessons learned, you know, put them back into the process of setting new goals. Remember that, you know, as you grow older and your life changes, your goals are going to change. Nothing wrong with that. Just adjust them, reflect in what you've accomplished, reflect in your growth, And then if they don't hold any attraction to you any longer, then maybe you need to consider letting some of those go. Bunky Brewster on Goal Setting Saturday. Hope you found some tips and some help from this. Thanks to you that watched. And again, if you want some more help, reach out to me, leave a comment below.